Or in SeaRaptor.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Game 6 today brings you the Kings of the Sea from North America. KSC here spawning in green, bringing Vermont and Ohio. All the America you could want in a battleship. Des Moines, Double Moskva, Petro, brought all those Russian ships. All right, fine. And then fronted by 3 destroyers, Gearing, Marceau, and what is undoubtedly a radar Yu-Yang. Let's have a quick peek. Yep, that's Aussie Floops there in the radar Yang. What is W&D bringing there on the south spawn, Painzor?
So for W&D, we have running an Ohio, Kremlin, Des Moines, Moskva, Petropavlovsk, Gearing, and a Marceau. So I was interested by your comment there. It's like, undoubtedly going to be a Yu-Yang?
I won't say undoubtedly, but most of the time that we've seen Yang in the event, certainly out of KSC, it has been a radar Yang. There was a stretch about 2-3-ish tournaments ago that Smoke Yang kind of came into the meta for a little while, but more commonly these days we see radar, at least in my experience.
Well, over on the EU server, we do constantly see smoke Yu-Yangs, and the idea of a radar Yu-Yang is it's lesser done. Nothing against it. It's just
Ragnar has largely displaced radar Yang, but Yu-Yang again. I feel like, and I said this I think last weekend during the NA finals, that the torpedo reload booster has been a huge upgrade for that ship because it really gives it a lot more firepower and a good destroyer player able to time that well and stagger the torpedo launches or even pick multiple different torpedo angles to be vomiting them out at can have a really, really big impact over a larger area. And Ragnars are great for cap control. Yang has the ability to have more impact farther away from cap circles as well.
We are going to have a little Marceau on Marceau violence breaking out over at the sea cap already.
Yeah, Raiden just got slapped by somebody.
Yeah, that was the Marceau. The Marceau on Marceau violence. This is what happens when you get caught bow in against another Marceau. If they have their guns bearing down upon your face and you're caught bow into that, you have to do a full turn to get out of that.
Haven't actually even they just now barely damaged the W&D Marceau as Raiden has coughed up over half his HP here.
And he drops a defensive smoke screen.
Barely 2 months into the game. Yep. Cowboy bringing some smoke in. Now that smoke probably would have come up anyway for Hitake's Des Moines, but they're definitely using it to try to preserve as much of Raiden's health as they can.
Yeah, Hitake is currently at the potential. Yeah, the Phasey Salvo from the Ohio is coming out straight towards this Des Moines. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to connect with it, but we'll be watching intently just in case.
Oh, he's maybe turning into it a bit here. Okay.
One
fell
shell,
short.
not
as terrible as it could have been.
Yeah.
And he's dark now. He has managed to sneak into where they can't spot him.
And on the flip side, we see Gearing Des Moines of No Name Lord going to be diving. He will be catching Gearing of Cowboy. He's going to have to turn out while caught in this radar, and the radar is not stopping. He's going to have him caught in this radar for quite a while now. Depends on how far he wants to push into this Gearing smoke. His friendly Gearing is turned out though, rather than continuing the push forward. They could have got a lot more damage onto that.
Cowboy's going to sneak out of this radar right about now. With his damage control running, more shells falling in, and he needs to see if he can dodge the fire, but he doesn't.
I think that's his engine in cap.
That's an engine in cap. That's an engine in cap. Okay.
I mean, as far as getting caught full broadside in a smoke screen for Des Moines, only losing 10,000 health, that's pretty okay.
Both KSC destroyers on the sea flank getting beat up very, very early. Now, if you have a look over at the A cap, KSC over here not really set up to take this cap. They're set up more, I think, in a defensive posture, kind of to prevent people from pushing through it. These deep water torpedoes going out, not finding anything because the Des Moines Hydro down here is ticking away.
Yeah, Des Moines is just going to be happy to sit in that smoke screen, start firing away at sexy Colonel Sanders in his Ohio. Not sexy Coinal Sanders.
Not sexy Coinal, that's right, because we have Colonel Sanders with Int'l, and then we have Coinal Sandals because, well, that's what they did.
Coinal Sandals.
Coinal Sandals, that's right.
Right, so with this massive HP differential on the Gearing and Marceau over on the sea cap, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to contest versus the full health Gearing and Marceau combination. They do have the Vermont for backup instead of an Ohio, so they might be able to do something with that, but it's a Vermont. It's not exactly going to be rapidly pushing down on you. If you manage to get ran down by a Vermont, something has gone incredibly wrong.
What are you driving that a Vermont is running you down? That's what I want to know.
Into a rock, probably.
Probably. Aussie's Yu-Yang now ducking into the extreme. He's got a great spot right here on this island in A. I think Alive and Dry's Kremlin might be able to get shells onto him. I don't think anybody else can.
You'll be clipping the top of the superstructure at most, I think. Oh, no.
He gets a decent full pin there. But I think Aussie's going to just ride it out because that's probably the only salvo that Alive's going to get off. He might try for a second one here in a sec.
I'm not sure if he's in range of the Moskva's follow-up radar. I think he is just outside of the
He
follow-up
is. He's
radar for the
outside.
Moskva,
He's
so yeah.
outside of that Moskva range by about a half a kilometer.
Yeah, but Aussie is going to have to risk... actually, Des Moines Salvo's going to be landing?
Nope.
No, they're not even close.
Des Moines Salvo simply cannot get close enough to the island there to fall in. Oh, they do finally manage to sneak a few shells in.
Do you think you send the gearing up the 10 line and try to take this fight?
Okay, there's the Moskva radar finally coming in. The Moskva had to reverse to catch him, and does. But this Moskva radar, well, it's still got 30 seconds to run.
Kremlin going to go for another salvo, perhaps? Well,
Aussie's... Oh, the Des Moines is really struggling to find the right spot to aim those shells. They're sneaking over the island, but when they do, they're running long. As Aussie takes a bit of battleship high explosive there, has to burn his DCP.
yeah, nothing too much happening on the other side of the map. I just went for a quick look there. It seems to be all right. It's all about Aussie Floop. Honestly, I think if you're the red gearing right now for WND, I think I would try and make that
I don't know,
jump.
maybe proxy spot him, you think?
Yeah, proxy spot.
You probably could proxy spot him without risking his ship too over bad. But right now, all 3 KSC destroyers getting just absolutely gutted here, and we're barely 6 minutes in.
You see, Aussie had his AA on there, and the Kremlin dropped his depth charges.
Dropped his depth charges.
You're still there. Good to know.
Now, they did manage to pick up C, Painzor. What happened over here that KSC did manage to grab the cap?
They just forced forward a little bit. The Des Moines of No Name had to fall back a bit because he didn't want to be spotted in front of Vermont. So just between the gearing smokescreen timings, he was just forced further back, and then he's like, all right, we can come back in now, potentially go for the fight.
Cowboy continuing to get rocked here over on the 9 line, trying to sneak away on 2,000 HP as more shells continuing to fall in. He's down to 500 hit points.
Nobody got shells coming in?
No more shells on the way.
I'm really surprised that the gearing of Takbe didn't decide, I want that
They're
kill.
continuing to blind fire where they think he might be based on the smoke.
That's good.
No, it is. It is. This. You know, when you're smoking, that little trail you leave behind, your enemies can kind of guess where you happen to be.
Which is the flip side of the problem with Vampire 2. Now, the gearing of Takbia is going to wish he did fire that salvo because he's going to be spotted now anyway.
Take moving up now to keep Takbir under his guns. That's going to be a nice long radar. 30 more seconds coming in.
Raiden should probably get involved in this as well. I think he's waiting till he gets into the smoke screen, but that should be a dead gearing. Takbia are going to have to do a lot of dodging.
Very, very low now.
3,000 health. Radar still up for another 20 seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot more radar to go.
1,290, 985.
There it is.
Petropavlovsk.
Petro speaks, and first blood going to KSC here, despite the fact that they have 3 very low destroyers. They convert the first kill.
Yeah, we see No Name Lord is going to be doing a counter radar to try and catch the approaching gearing Marceau combo. They're not going to be finding him. That's going to leave the red Marceau of, I cannot read that name for the life of me. He's kind of just stuck there.
I gotta say, I really like what they did at the ACAP, KSC, Painsor, because they took advantage of what maybe might be considered a little timidity by WND to grab the ACAP, pick up some points off of it. They were never going to be able to hold it, but now they're on over a 200-point lead here, and WND is just now picking up their first cap of the game, and it's 8 minutes in.
Yeah, so now that you've got this Kremlin push forward along with the gearing, they've finally managed to take this A-cap. What do you do to rotate off this? You have an Ohio kiting into spawn, you have a Yu Yang who's also going to be kiting into spawn. You're not interested in chasing that if you're the Kremlin. You turn through, you now have control over B-cap.
Well,
they have full Thunderdome control.
Look at FaZe's Ohio. It looks like he's going to sit in here and try to grab B, and if I'm KSC, I mean, you can shoot at him, you can reset him all day, but you probably can't stop it eventually. It looks like the Moscow is going to move up and join him.
I was looking to see if Pikachu in the Vermont there had a salvo on the Ohio. He probably did for a brief spot. He doesn't have it anymore. Well, he gets the shots out, but it's no longer like broadside. He might do a little chunk in the superstructure here. Yeah, fair chunk. He should be able to take this cap relatively unscathed. And now you have this terrifying thing of how do we deal with 2 battleships currently in the AB region? Because
you can't get torpedoes on either one of them very effectively. Certainly not alive and dry, so it's going to be a long road to whittle down all that HP. But for the moment, KSC on a lead. We're approaching the halfway mark here. They're up about, what we say, about 230-ish points or so, 220 points. I'd be curious to see if Pikachu... Oh, the gearing torps catch Aussie way over on the 1 line. Some luck chuck torps and Aussie goes down. That's a huge kill for WND.
I didn't see what angle he was at when he got caught by those. I think was he just like broadside to them, trying to make some sort of plays to push forward or something. I didn't quite catch that.
No, he was pulling away, but the torpedo. I mean, they're gearing torpedoes. They've got the range. They can follow up and catch him.
So now we see there's an Ohio Sexy Colonel Sanders kiting to A1. He can't really do much to get it back in the game. This means that with WND, what they need to do now is they need to consolidate their forces, try and get control over that B cap. They didn't manage to get it. They didn't manage to take the cap with the Ohio, which means that they're currently down on points. They're down on points by a full 120, despite getting that kill because they were down from having ticked from KSC having ticked so hard already.
Well, I mean, I like what I'm seeing from KSC's redeployment here, right? They've pretty much got control of C now, so they're trying to kind of reorient themselves a bit to have more of an impact and fight over B. And the Pikachu's really only got his bow turrets available to beat up FaZe, but FaZe's coughed up a bunch of HP for his little play as some torpedoes going on Quicksilver's Petro.
He got kind of caught out a little bit there. He's now getting farmed out by Marceau, Petro. Des Moines of No Name has decided he wants to open up right now. I'm sure that now that Pikachu is behind this island, there's no reason for the Des Moines of No Name to not be shooting right now.
Yeah, they know his Hydro is down. They know they can probably back this kill. In fact, here comes the Ohio shells.
There's still 40 seconds left on this Petro's damage control party.
Yeah, no, he's gonna die. They're gonna lose Quicksilver right here.
I think if instead of reversing out, he tried to just take a hard turn to the right, he's still going to have the Ohio and Moscow raining down on his face. He might have survived a little bit longer. Right, so taking stock of the situation, what do we have here, SeaRaptor? Points are pretty close. There's
very
only
close
22
now.
Points in
that second kill definitely narrows the points gap, less than 20 points between these two teams at the moment.
We have A cap fully in control for WND, we have C cap fully in control for KSC, and we have nobody in any position to take B anytime soon. We have kiting Des Moines over on the 10 line, we have kiting Ohio over on the 1 line, both being chased by various destroyers, and it's all about this Petro, Moscow, Ohio, and Moscow, Vermont surrounding this B cap. This Des Moines and Kremlin could be an issue if they want to get involved as well, but I'm not sure how you want to play this. The problem is they have both of their battleships with one angle, pretty much. Actually, no, Pikachu looks like he's suffering.
Well, he is. He's a Vermont. That's his job. He's burning through his third heal right now, but he's under so much concentrated fire. The heal has done little but to just kind of hold him in position. He hasn't really gained any health back. There's at least 3 different ships shooting at him. It's only a matter of time before he goes off the board.
Yeah, what's he permanently spotted by? Is it the Moskva? This must be the
Probably the Moskva in front of him. Yep, there he goes. Right through the bow. I mean, Vermont is not a horrible ship in this format. We've seen it have some impact, but when it's just bow in like that, and it looked like he might have been stuck on the rock there, couldn't maneuver, and he's out.
How did KSC get back into this?
Well, you tell me.
I don't see a way for it. This is what I'm thinking. Like, what we have right now is we have several ships parked around B cap. You can't actually get in any of these caps, so you're going to have to look for a kill. The only people who look relatively killable right now is you have a very low health Marceau and a very low health Petropavlos, but it's still a Petropavlos. It's not going to be the fastest thing to kill in the world. And if you want to try and get deep spotting on that, your gearing is very low HP. So I think their current play, if they will have any plays at all, somehow try and take out this Marceau and Petropavlos, try and get a surround going, and then try to farm out Moskva as the rush comes. But at the same time, we see the counter farm is coming on to I am co-op in his Moscow from Jeddah, but it's Petro HE farming. It's not the fastest thing in the world.
Cowboy and Hitake have paired up here just along the border of the sea cap. Hitake trying to get shells downrange on Jedi's Petro, who's quite low, but they lost sight of the Petro for the moment. Jedi's turning back towards the sea cap, and they cannot spot him right now. Moskva radar from Sanders could pick him up, but it's 60 seconds away.
So this is the problem with this smoke screen in my book, is you need to have this in an aggressive smoke rather than a defensive smoke. Sure enough, he's reversing towards the Marceau right now.
The Ohio way up north taking a Kremlin salvo. He's been trying to run away from this gearing, and the gearing's been doing good work getting torpedoes, and they're going to lose Coop here as well in just a moment.
Is it Coop or co-op?
I think either works.
Okay.
I think he's going to take a torpedo. He's got his Hydro up. He can see these torpedoes coming, but he's going to take one in the stern. There he goes.
Yep. Painful little torpedo up the butt. Nobody really wants that in their life. And now it's just, I think this is just over. It's a five kill.
It's 4 ships down at this stage. And one of the, you're one, well, I guess one of your surviving destroyers is essentially dead. And the other one is so low, you can't risk it.
So, if we take a hypothetical, let's see if we can get some detonations. Where do you see these detonations coming from? Who do you think is going to be the easiest ship to detonate? Now, I think some of the problems that have happened in this game is, It's just unlucky torpedoes. I say unlucky torpedoes.
So the one on Floop's absolutely unlucky torpedo, but Raiden's aggressive Marceau play early, I don't necessarily think that wasn't luck. You got punished. Like, the opposing team was ready for that Marceau to be there, headed to sea, and just like you said, he forced to turn out, forced to show a huge portion of his ship, and just got absolutely hammered.
So I want to take a quick comparison of the two builds of these two Marceaus while we have a little bit of time here. I want to say the red Marceau of WND, the one that won that trade, is running radio location, fearless brawler. The green Marceau is running radio location, advanced firing training.
Advanced firing training. He went for the range.
Yeah. Whereas if you go for this fearless brawler, this extra 10% DPM.
Yep. When you're spotted, which as a Marceau, that's not that unusual, is it?
Yeah, you just want to pound away at each other. And then the good thing about not bringing the AFT or whatever its current name is, I can't remember exactly because they changed it a while ago. You get unspotted faster because you can disengage faster. That's the biggest problem. So if you start the Marceau fight and you're running if you're running the AFT and they're not, they get dark faster, meaning they have less salvos coming in for you.
Yeah.
I might have completely butchered that because words are hard, but yeah, that's the general theory.
The bottom line is that for a ship like Marceau, which generally is, I would say, generally is utilized to assassinate and hunt down opposing destroyers, that DPM advantage you get in a destroyer engagement by taking Fearless Brawler is significant with 8 guns. Yeah. And so, whereas having the additional range can work as a penalty against you in that engagement, because even if you win against the other Marceau, more ships can spot you for that much longer.
Yeah. Plus, the thing is as well, though, it's a double-edged sword. Not having that extra range means it's very uncomfortable for you to try and get involved in something that isn't just directly fighting these other destroyers. We do see sexy Colonel Sanders is now slowly exploding in his Moskva. Load of torpedoes just to finish off any survivors that happen to be on the ship. And that just leaves a single solitary gearing of Cowboy who's just going to start shooting into the water. It's like, guys, I'm helping. Here's my ship. Oh. Blech.
Well, time ticks away. KSC going down there. Not a flawless victory. They were able to pick up that gearing kill, which for a while got them back into the game, but then not able to sustain that momentum. And W&D claimed that one.
Yeah, let's throw it back to the boys in the studio, and we'll just get them to do some full-on analysis for you guys.